So if you can't produce long terms, you will not get 6. Most of you guys, what you do, you make sounds in between. All right. We have 3 parts in our speaking part, right? 3 parts. Right. But I would say it's important you go part by part rather than for whole. You make that mistakes, right? Even in reading, listening part, I always tell you guys, like, you should go question types by question types. Same thing goes here for speaking module. You need to go part by part because each part have different vision. They just different types of skill in every part. I mean, the skill they judge in part 1, they will not judge the same skill in part 2. Same goes for part 3. So what kind of skills they are really looking for in part 1? General conversation, very small talk. Can you do the small talk? Can you provide the information about you? That is the reason when they start part 1, they say, I will tell you that. I will continue to part 1. In the part 1, I'm going to ask you some questions to know you better. To know you better. আপনাকে better করে জানার জন্য কিছু question করবে. So all the questions will be asked in the part 1. It will always be about you. Always be about you. Okay. See, in the part 1 questions, if you look at 1 or 2 questions, let's go. Like the first question, how do you usually contact your friends? How do you usual thing? What we do every day or almost some days in a week. All right. Usual means the thing we do nearly every day, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times a week. That is usual. So how do you usually, generally, daily contact with your friends? So see, like for me, I can't really contact with my friends physically. I just can't. It's not possible for me. I don't have the time and they also don't have the time. We both are busy guys. And for some people, those who are maybe studying in college level, university level, they have that opportunity, they can meet. So see, you need to ask yourself, how do I meet my friends or contact my friends? Maybe through call, right? Through text. Some people will contact physically. If I need to talk with someone, I just go to their place and talk with them. You can also answer in that manner. So as part 1 questions will be very direct. Very direct. You look at another question. Do you prefer to contact different people in different ways? So all the questions will be look like you can answer it with a sentence, with some words. It looks like that. See, you can answer it yes. See, do you prefer to contact different people in different? You can say yes. You can just say no. But the problem is you can't just answer any question with a sentence or with just a couple of words. Why not? Because speaking band descriptors looks for something else. What they're looking for, see. First of all, able to keep going. They don't want you to stop in a certain manner. And readily produce, readily. Readily means you are not thinking, you are not taking time in between. That is ready. Things are ready-made, right? Who don't know about the ready-made? Made ব্যাপারটা বুঝি না কে? Ready-made. Ready-made food খাই না আমরা? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, readily produce long turns. Long turns. This is actually came from Premier League. So the players who come from different region can't speak in English but play for the Premier League in England. They really teach them in this manner. Long turns. Long turns means you are not just saying a sentence or a small talk. You are trying to give big talks. Big talks means not for 10 minutes, no. Big talks means you are answering enough. Long turns. See, even for 6, this is band descriptors. So they will score you in 4 different criteria: fluency, coherence, and lexical, grammar, and pronunciation. Long turns, even for 6. So if you can't produce long turns, you will not get 6. If you answer just with 1 sentence, couple of words, you won't get 6. So your first criteria, the first point you need to achieve is you can able to keep going, you can speak for 3-4 sentences effortlessly, and you can produce some long terms. So that's your first point. Whenever a question will be asked to you, you can answer that with 3-4 sentences. That's your first goal. That's your first goal. Okay. So even though question is very direct, like, do you prefer to contact different people in different ways? So you can start with yes or no. Then you need to describe that, explain that, talk a bit more about that. What you can say? If you say, yes, I do. Per se, with my friends, I would love to directly meet with them. About my relatives, I need to call them because they live in different places. And with official purpose, I try to contact with them emails. So you said, yes, you do. And then you describe how or how many different ways you contact with other people. Let's move to the next question. Do you find it easy? Do you find it easy to keep in contact with friends and family? Is it easy? I mean, is it easy for you? Then you will say, yes, it is. Right? And then you describe why. Maybe because of the technology we have now. Right? If I need to talk with someone, I'm just some taps away. Need to call them directly. Even if I want to see someone, video calls are available. So I can do in that manner. So if I compare the past, nowadays, it's super easy. Are you understanding? You are not answering the questions with just one word, one sentence. No, you are explaining the things, but in a fluent way. Most of you guys, what you do, you make sounds in between, right? Like most of you guys make sounds in that way. Don't do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Like the number question, last question. In your country, did people in the past keep in contact in the same ways as they do today? No, absolutely not. I can remember 20 years ago, yeah, even 20 years ago, people used to write letters. But nowadays, I have not seen anyone is writing a letter because mobile phone is there. You can just call someone. So I would say technology attested in terms of communication. We are using the technology enormously nowadays than before. So that's the massive change I can see. I can foresee, whatever you want to say. So see, that's one topic about you, your friends, family, contact. If you move forward like another topic, still it will be about you. Still, it will be about you. Like the first topic here about the part one, television. Who doesn't know what is television? Everyone knows that. Everyone watches television. Maybe not a lot like before, but still we know about the television almost everything. In spite of knowing a lot of things, still you guys are facing problem to answer about the topic. First question, how often do you watch television? How often? How frequently? How many times? Maybe in a day or in a week, you watch television. So it should vary, right? Those who are doing the job, maybe it will be the same. But some people have the family, so they don't really have the time to watch television. But still, can you say, I don't even watch television in once in a month? That should not be the case, right? Yeah, at least once in a month, once in a week, maybe once in a day, you watch television. So what is it for you? You start with it. So it's very important you start with the direct answer. Super important. When the question have been asked, you answer it first. How often do you watch television? Then you answer it once or twice in a day, once or twice in a week, 5 to 10 times in a week. So you answer that first. That's your job. You question করতে যাচ্ছেন? You answer it first. You give the direct answer. Like the second question, what is? Which television channel do you usually watch? Name the channel first. Name the channel first. What is it? So, like for me, it will be like Sky Sports because of the games or football games. So that will be for me. Maybe for you, something else. Maybe you watch news. Maybe some TV series, movies. Which one? If you watch, which one you used to watch? And then Then you describe what do you watch there, or why you choose the channel to watch rather than other. Like if you want to explain this one, which television channel do you usually watch? Then you start it. Okay, for me it will be, what did I say? Sky Sports. Mainly because of the availability of football games. I'm a big fan of football, so there's a channel you can go and watch the Premier League. That's the main reason to watch Sky Sports. Maybe for you, it can be a Bangladeshi channel, channel 24. So you can say this is the channel I used to watch all the time. It's channel 24. It's a new channel, and I really want me to be updated all the time about the country, what is happening there. So I always rely on that channel. Rely on means depend on. You depend on that channel. You believe in that channel, like that. Direct answer, and then after that you explain. That's your job. Direct answer, and then you explain. Maybe with 2-3 sentences, and that will be enough. All right, let's move forward. There's like 2-3 more topics. Let's go. Try to find some. Here, flowers. Okay, nice timing. Just 14th February gone. Who didn't touch the flower in 14th February? Who didn't touch the flower, Balen, in 14th February? Everyone touched it. Okay, only one person. And খুব এখন সব মিমি চলে আসতেছে. Okay, all right. Who didn't touch the flower on 14th February? আপনি না? Okay, all right. Then you guys need to. Then answering this topic would be easier. See, read the question first. Do you like to have flowers in your home? Maybe in your home there is no flower, but you would like to. Maybe you don't want to maintain, but you would love to if maintenance was not needed. Let's first ask yourself the question, would I like the flower in my home? Maybe in your table, where do you study? Maybe in the balcony, wherever. Do you like to? That's the question. So ask yourself. If it is yes, then say definitely, 100%, yeah, sure. Obviously, that would be your starting way. Then you explain. Sure. In fact, there are some people. Is there anyone who have flowers at their home? Anyone? No one. You guys don't have flower in your home? Yes, you have that on your. Okay. So then you can answer. Yeah, obviously. In fact, I have some flowers in my home. Yes, yeah, some people have that. Oh, a lot of people have that flowers in their home. Nice one. So you guys could answer in that. Yep, definitely. In fact, I have some flower in my home. Now you described why do you like it. You might say, Funny, you also have it. Nice one. Funny, where is your friend? I mean, where is the junior? What is the name? What is your friend? Your friend কোথায়? ক্লাসে জয়েন করে না কেন?
সে ডিউটিতে আছে।
ডিউটিতে আছে?
জি।
আপনার উপর দোষ দিয়ে দেবে যে উনি আমাকে ছুঁয়ে দেয় নাই। Okay. So yeah, let's move back to the flowers. So do you like to have flowers in your room? So you say, yeah, in fact, I have some flowers in my home. And then you describe why do you like it. So I feel like it always, flower is the symbol of the beauty, or I don't know, whatever you say. If it is symbol of the beauty, then you say symbol of the love, then you will say that. And whenever you cross through the flower plant, you'll get some smell, and it feels so good when you get it. So you can answer in that way. And if someone don't like, they'll say, not really, mainly because of the maintenance. When you have a plant in your home, you need to maintain that, watering those the right time. And I feel like I'm not that responsible. So no, I would not like to have flowers or flower plant in my home. And so you can go in that way. And the next question, where would you go to buy flowers? Yeah, that's an interesting question because you guys are not from the same place. So you will not go to the same place for buying the flowers. So what do? You answer the question first, where it is, right? Maybe just beside your home, or there is a market. You can spell the name of that market, right? And then just after that, where you say, okay, this is the place I go to buy flowers. Then you give the reason for it. Why do you go there, not other place? Maybe there is no other place there. You can say, because this is the only place where you can go and buy it. That can be one. There is another reason. This is the nearest place. So I don't need to bother myself to go somewhere distance to buy flowers. That can be another reason. Other reason can be, you can say it is cheaper here if we compare to others. That can be another reason. So you give the reason, where do you go in that place? Because the question was about the place, not the flower. Be careful. Where would you go to buy flowers? Be careful. Talk about the place. And the next one, what occasions would you give someone flowers? Like for me, it's like every occasions because it is easier for me. And you can really give flowers in any occasion, right? If it is a marriage ceremony, you can just take the flower and go, right? Even it is some program which is sad or something, someone died, and if there is the program, you can also take the flowers. Maybe color will be the different. You can really carry flower to anywhere and give it to them in any occasions. You don't need to choose anymore. You just buy flowers. For me, for you guys, you can have some occasions. Maybe you will say, yeah, 14th February is the Valentine's Day. The only day I give flowers to some people, right? Or one people, whatever for you. So, right. So, what you learn, like in the part one, question will be very direct. The approaching will be direct answer first. That's very important. And then you explain that. That should be your way. Let me talk a bit about the part 2 and part 3. For part 2, there will be a cue card, right? And you need to answer that. Well, I don't really recommend people to practice this one in the very first few days of your IELTS preparation. So in part 1, you are answering the question maybe with 3-4 sentences. You should not take more than around 25 seconds, right? 20 to 30 seconds. That should be the range of the answer of part 1. And in part 2, you need to talk for in around 2 minutes. To be more specific, it will always be in around 100 seconds. It's like 3-4 times more than the part 1. So there is a way. You need to first be careful, like, okay, in the part 1, I don't have the problem. Then you can move to like part 3. Then after that, you come back to part 2. Why? Because part 3 is not the similar to the part 1, but is a little bit likely to that. If you read a question, see, what are the different types of meeting that people often, see, you are getting this word like 2-3 times already in 2-3 tests. What are different types of meeting that people often go to? So, in this question, they are not asking about you, are they? No, they are asking about the people. So, you are explaining other people's opinion, not yours. What other people are doing, what they are thinking, like that. Read the second question. See, some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? Again, other people don't like to go to meetings, and you are explaining the opinion. So in part 3, you will always need to give your opinion. Even if you move forward to like another topic. Why do you think world leaders often have meetings together? Why do you think world leaders often have meetings together? Again, your opinion. Why do you think that? Maybe you don't know about it, right? Why do world leaders are doing the meeting? You can assume it should be international matter or even sometimes national matters. Generally, we know about the UNICEF, UNESCO, don't we? SAF, right? For the Asia. So they meet there to solve sometimes the world issues, right? Some other times, maybe some national issues too. Those can be reasons. So see, here you need to give your opinion. So you need to answer in a bit broader way than the part 1. একটু বড় করে দিতে হয় আর কিছু না That's the reason I always tell you, like, first get the confidence in the part one. Like, doesn't matter what type of question they will ask me, I'll be able to answer the part one properly. Not like doing, I would like to, not like that. Like properly, fluently, frequently. That's your first job. When you finish the part one, okay, now I'm in the level I want to be in the part one, then you move forward to the part three, then you go to the part two. So how can you really know that, how you are doing? So generally in some classes, I'm going to ask you the questions. That's how we will know. But there should be some way so that you can judge yourself. Best way to do is to practice with others. Right? Practice with others. It's very important. You can, generally there is a language club, but in language club, generally you cannot, first say some three people want to practice speaking, some other people want to practice maybe listening or reading or even writing. So one language club will not do the work. So that's the reason we have, like, let's practice multiple channels, a lot of channels, like 10. If someone is practicing in channel 1, you go to the channel 2. Right. If like 1, 2, 3, 4 is engaged, you go to 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. How can you give the people, although you guys are not, you are not practicing a lot, which you should. How can you practice? In the let's text, message here, is there anyone free? Right. Is there anyone free? Let's talk a bit. Let's practice. So that's how you practice with each other. It will always help you. It will always help you when you will practice with each other, right? Everyone is looking for the speaking partner and other stuffs. Maybe the timing will be a problem. Maybe you are talking with someone, you can't really match the time. But you can be sure yourself, there is some people who have the time, who can match the time with you. You need to just find that person, just ask that. You post your time, this is the time I am free. Is there anyone? You'll get that person and practice. But remember always, whenever you are practicing, remember your goal is Ielts, nothing else. So do the part one. How you can do that? So my suggestions, the best one is practicing Cambridge 7 to 18 first. Then you can go for more. Complete all the part one from Cambridge 7 to 18. In the way, like, okay, part one I have answered, then move to the, like, another set of questions. So sound Ashana? Are you back there? Clear আছে তো ওনাকে কেউ একজন মেসেজ করেন না someone text him text করেন যে আপনি একটু অন্য ডিভাইস বা লিভ নিয়ে আছে look for it. All right, okay, here we are. So don't just jump, don't just jump. Jumping is not good, right? When you are good at it, then you can jump, but now you can't. So what you do, whenever you are practicing, if you are practicing with other people, tell them, if I am making the sound, let me know, right? In between, if I am making the sound, if I am taking a lot of pauses. Yes, Raja. এখন শুনতে পাচ্ছেন ভাই? হ্যালো জি, এখন শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? Hopefully yes, okay. All right. আমার যদি এখানে প্রবলেম থাকে না, একটা স্ট্রিম এর জানতো মনে করছে পাহাড় না হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ মেসেজ করেন। Okay. All right. So, you record your test. It's very important. When you are doing it by yourself, you record the test and listen to it. Take the notes when you are making pauses, how many times you are doing that, what kind of sounds, this kind of the awkward sounds you are making. Whenever you're doing the next one, you can't improve everything you have noted down, right? You can't improve everything. Try to improve a little bit. When you're doing the second one, so first one is done, right? First one is done. You have the analysis. These are the things I am doing, right? In the second one, you'll look for some improvement. You can't improve everything just in 1 or 2 tests. No, it will not gonna happen. All right? It will not gonna happen. You need to take time. So, to improve a little bit. And notice, if there is any kind of improvement you are making, if there is any kind of improvement you need to make. So 2, The first one, there is one type of notes. From the second one, notes are different. One is you are taking notes. If there is any improvement, you just made. কোনো improvement করতে পেরেছেন কিনা. And then in the second portion, like what kind of improvements I still need to make. কোন improvement গুলো লাগবে. When you move to the third one, then you again take the same thing. Now what types of improvement I have made. এখনো আর কোন ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট গুলো লাগবে। এভাবে আস্তে আস্তে যখন আগে থাকবেন দেখবেন যে একটা সময় ফ্লুয়েন্ট হয়ে যাবেন। And it's super important. If you are fluent, you will never miss the 6. That's the logic. If you are fluent enough, you will never miss the 6. And if you are not fluent enough, you will never get more than 6. Get the equation. So fluency. In speaking, you can't. All right. So in speaking, you can't compromise with your fluency. Can't really compromise with your fluency. You can't take time in between a lot. You can't pause where need not to be. So super fluency. So what will you practice? You will practice from Cambridge 7 to 18. Like, okay, this is the Cambridge 7 test 1, part 1. So you're done with the part 1. You don't move to part 2 or 3. You move to test 2 and do this part 1. Like they're talking about laughing. Not laughing gas, laughing. What kinds of thing make you laugh? What kinds of thing make you laugh? So different people laugh on different things, right? Can you remember someone is crying and in that moment, right, you laughed a bit out of nowhere, right? Okay, আপনারা এটা লিজন থেকে দেখবে। Right, it happens. It's so funny যে কেউ একজন হয়তো কান্না করতেছে আপনার হুট করে একটা হাসি চলে আসছে, right? Someone is crying and suddenly you laughed a bit. So that happens. So you can also mention that in a funny way. But the question is, what kinds of things make you laugh? The easiest way, maybe you will say, okay, I would say comedy stuffs, maybe a movie or a TV series. Even there are some funny videos out there nowadays. So I would say the comedy stuffs always make me to laugh. Answer. So first answer, like what kinds of thing? You don't start laughing is very important for our heart, so we need to laugh all the time. No, that was not the question. The question was, what kinds of thing make you laugh? Right. So you talk about the kinds of thing. MD Kamal Hossain, ভাই একটু মিউট করে ফেলবেন যদি কোশ্চেন না থাকে, আবার কোশ্চেন থাকলে আনমিউট করে কোশ্চেন করেন, no problem. So very important. Now you read these 3 questions. All right, number 2, number 3 and number 4. Right, 3টা কোশ্চেন পড়েন এবং আপনার কাছে মনে হয় যে কোন কোশ্চেনটা আপনার অ্যান্সার করতে ডিফিকাল্ট মনে হবে সেটা একটু মেসেজে জানান তো আমাকে। মেসেজ বলতে এখানে কমেন্টে জানান তো আমাকে কোন কোশ্চেনটা আপনার কাছে মনে হবে যে অ্যান্সার করতে ডিফিকাল্ট হবে। এই 3টা কোশ্চেন 1 2 3 4.
Just go for number 4.
Okay, everyone is talking about the number 4. So number 2 question. Number 2 question, okay. Number 2 question is not problem for anyone, right? What was the question? Do you like making other people laugh? So you guys are comfortable with that question? জিজ্ঞেস করি দুইজনকে এখন হুট করে টান দিয়ে বলেন, তো বলতে হবে না। If you have problem, you need to say it. Okay, but all right. Making other people, do you like making other people laugh? If answer is the yes, you would say definitely, because I believe when people laugh, most of the time they are happy, and who doesn't like a happy person? So I would say that's the reason I like to make other people laugh. That can be one way of answering this question. And you can also answer no. You would say, I don't think so. I'm a funny guy. So even if I try, I can't do that. It needs a lot of effort, which I don't want to put. No, not really. I don't like to make other people laugh. I would be just happy by myself. So yeah, these are the 2 ways. Yes or no, you can answer it. And the next one, do you think it's important for people to laugh? So if you say yes, because yes is very easier answer to give. If you say yes, I feel that so, because Even if you look in the medical term, when the people laugh, it's beneficial for their heart. And you need to be happy, lead a good life. So when you laugh, generally you're happy. So yeah, I'd say in this perspective, it's really crucial. Instead of important, you can say crucial, vital, pivotal, right? It is vital for people to laugh at least sometimes a day. The way you can say no. Can you answer it? No. Yeah, you can. You can say, all right, no. I don't think it's very important. It's more important to be happy. Sometimes people laugh, but they are not happy. So it's being happy from the inside rather than laughing. It's crucial. So you can answer in that way too. But I think, yeah, yes will be the better options to answer. First one, is laughing the same as feeling happy? What do you think, right? For me, I don't think so. Because I have seen a lot of people, they are not happy, but still laughing to show up. Just think about the pictures, right? If you look at the 100 pictures, 90 people are laughing just to give the pose, not for the happiness. I can assure you that. But some other time, people are happy, but they don't want to show up and they don't laugh. I'm not saying laughing is a show up, but it's an output, right, of the happiness. But it doesn't always show that. So yeah, I would say no. Sometimes people just be happy, don't laugh. Some other time people aren't happy, still laughing. So এটা হচ্ছে এক ধরনের answer. You can also say no. Yes here. You say, yeah, I do think so. Because why a person will laugh if they are not happy? As far as I know, I never laughed. I am not happy. But I always laughed whenever I am happy. So from that sense, I would say, yes, you laugh when you are happy. That's the way of answering. You can always go with your own way. You just ask yourself, what do you think? And then you move forward.
Sir, actually, we have no cold in now, but countryside have some things cold. Yeah.
Right. Dhaka is not true. Okay. Little bit. অনেকের জায়গায় হচ্ছে little bit. But yeah, in Dhaka, there is cold is just gone. It's just gone. Today I went out. It's just gone. There is no cold out there. All right. The question was, have you ever been in very cold weather? Have you ever been in a very cold weather? Right. So we could just talk about 1 month ago, right? Can't we? Because it was super cold, last month. Even in Dhaka, it was 12, 13 degrees Celsius. It was just horrendous. Yeah, you will answer the question in that way. If the yes, you will say, yeah, I did. Just a month ago, in my city, the weather was 11, 12 degree even. It was just horrendous. So you answer in that. If you say no, just say no, not really, because I live in a country. It's mainly the summer, and when you get the cold, it's not get icy cold. Icy cold means the temperature don't get to zero or less than that. Everything will get turned into the ice. No, not that. So here, no, I never been in a very cold weather. So you can answer in both ways. Right, there is no right and wrong answer, but you need to make sure you're answering what they're asking. That's important. You're answering what they are asking. How often is the weather cold where you come from? Here maybe they're talking about your birthplace. So you need to answer that. So you can say 2 to 3 months. Maybe generally in Bangladesh, everywhere is 2 to 3 months. Sometimes it's 3 to 4 months, right? That can happen. But I feel it's 1 to 2 months in Dhaka. So you can say it will be 1 to 2 months in a year. In Dhaka city where I live, and it's generally December and January. You'll get the cold weather. Super cold, but yeah, it's 14, 15 degree or 20 degree. Reasonable. You can answer in that way. There is no other ways because the question is not yes, no. The question was how often. So you need to say 3, 4, 5. You need to give the number. When they're saying how often, you need to give the number. Asking for the number. Okay. Parts of your country colder than others. It is, isn't it? In which city have the least temperature in this year? Hasif, can you remember? Thakurgaon? Anyone knows? Thakurgaon, right? Thakurgaon, 5 degree or something like that. 5 degree or kind of. Chuaranga, right? Kind of. But if you compare with the Dhaka and the city area, it's not the same, is it? It's not. So we can say definitely, right? Korea, north side, right? Side of our country is colder than other parts. Isn't that true? Agreed, guys? North side, right? North part of the country.
North part of the
Yeah. So you can answer in that way, as we know, like north part of the country. Yeah, it is. It is different. Like in the north part of the country is super cold, but you come to the like other parts, like the central area, Dhaka and other, it's kind of hot. So yeah, it varies. City to city, area to area. So that's the way. And if you say no, this one you can answer actually both because yes, no, right? So you can say no, not really, because of the weather. I would say all over the country in Bangladesh, it's just the same types of temperature you'll always get. It doesn't vary a lot. এভাবে answer করা যেতে পারে. And then last one, would you prefer to live in a hot place or a cold place? Okay, so I don't know if there is anyone want to accept the beach experience, right? Sometimes girls mainly want to take the beach experience, right? Especially those who are from the colder countries like Russia, Canada, Australia, right? Those who are from there, they love hot place. But yeah, we people don't really like it. So you answer the question in that way. But you can, this is the question, you can go in the middle way. I don't really suggest that, but still, if you don't have the opportunity, like no, I can talk more with just hot place or just cold place, then you can go in between, right? You can use the perspective here. You can say, okay, I would say it varies. If there are a lot of people, I would say colder place is more preferable because a lot of people already make the place hotter, so I don't prefer it. But if I'm alone with one or two person, I would recommend a hot place because in the colder place you always need to go under the combles or some other spaces. So it's now when I am like fewer guys, fewer people, I prefer hot place. It's the middle way, but I would say better go for the question was hot place or a cold place. So it's better to choose one. If it is hot place, you say definitely hot place, then you describe why. And if it is cold one, then you say a cold place and you describe why. Maybe you can have a lot of party out there, right? And other experiences are good in the cold place. Okay. All right. এখানে মনে হয় আরেকটাই আছে, আমরা টেস্ট করে আরেকটাই আছে, এটা একটু শেষ করে দেওয়া ট্রাই করি. Traveling to work or college. So maybe how you go to your work, maybe your office, or your job, or how you go to your college. Those kind of topic. How do you usually travel to work or college? So before asking this question, obviously they will ask you, what are you? I mean, what do you do? Are you a student or are you a job holder or what are you? Right. Okay, that's a nice question though. There are some people who are neither job holder nor a student, right? We some have that, don't we? Like we are not doing any job or we are not studying to, right? So they get a little bit of confused, right? Okay, when that's like, what do you do? Are you a student or are you a job holder? Then they get confused, right? Is there anyone who have that situation, is not doing a job or even not studying? কেউ আছে এরকম, জবও করছে না, স্টুডেন্টও না বা পড়ছেও না কোনো ইউনিভার্সিটিতে বা কোথাও? The question, how do you usually travel to work or college? No, we were somewhere else. Like when do you answer? Like you are not doing a job or you are studying. So then you can answer the question in the way, actually neither. Because I need to take the IELTS preparation for last 3-4 months, 2-3 months, 1-2 months. whatever is it for you. Even it is more than that, mention that. And I really need to put my all the effort there. So yeah, I was just doing the study for the IELTS exam, and I'm not doing a job, or even I'm not a student of any university. Done. Okay, let's back to the topic. How do you usually travel to work or college? So ask yourself. Maybe think about your college or your university or your work. If it is a bus, public, just first talk about something bigger. Then try to impress that, compress that, particular that. First, you can say, if it is public transport, you can say, okay, I travel to my work or college through public transport, generally with a bus. But now metro rail is there. Is there anyone who is using metro rail everyday basis to go their work or college? Anyone? Metro rail every day, almost every day, if not every day. One. কেউ এখানে মেট্রো রেল ইউজ করে না অফিস টফিস যাওয়ার জন্য সবসময়? Okay. All right, then don't talk about the metro rail. Then you can say public transport or private transport. So if it is public transport, then use that. So I generally use I generally use bus. Then say it like it's a public transport. I use it maybe. No, I just used for it for a while. Okay, all right, okay. So generally I use it. What did I say? How do you usually travel to work or college? So you say if it is public transport, you say generally by bus. It's a public transport. With it, I can always move forward. Their availability are there. If I have the availability are there. If you just go to the roadside and stand for 5 minutes, you will get 2-3 buses to catch. Right? So I use buses. What if you are using your public? How could I say when I use a rickshaw? Oh, right, yeah, nice one. So you can say I use a rickshaw, but don't assume teacher know what the rickshaw is. So try to explain what the rickshaw is. You can say in that way. So I use rickshaw. It's a transportation, a traditional transportation would be like better. It's a traditional transportation in our country with 3-wheel. Only 2 people can travel, but we Bangladeshi sometimes travel 4 people, right, to save the money. Right? Isn't that true? It is true. Right. You can answer the question in that way. All right, okay. True, right? Yeah, true. Friends and staffs, 3-4 people. And so you can also, there is sometimes quarreling who will sit, down and who will sit up. Okay. Next one. Have you always traveled to work or college in the same way? No, not always. It cannot be always the same way. Sometimes you need to change. So you need to talk about the change. No, not really. If I'm in a hurry, I would hire a CNG, the private transport, or a bike. Right? Nowadays, bikes are more convenient, right, to move in this city. So if I'm in a hurry, no, not really. Yep, that's true. I mostly use the bus, but whenever I'm in a hurry, I use bikes because this city is just everywhere you'll get the traffic jam. But if there is a bike, they can sometimes break the rules and help me to reach my destination in the quickest time possible. Right? So yeah, I'll say that. Okay. Next one. What do you like about traveling to work or college this way? What do you like about traveling to work this way? So, yeah, it is bike. So you can say, okay, if you talk about the bus, then you can say, I really like it, Or say, you can't even get the seat, right, to sit down. So what do? You always stand up, which help you to make yourself more stronger because there is no seat. You need to stand up. So you stand up more and you will become more stronger. And yeah, I like about it a lot. Yeah, there are other things. People always talk about their life, gossiping, and you learn most important thing in the bus. So yeah, I liked about this thing a lot. But you can answer in that way too, no problem. What changes would improve the way you travel to work? Changes would improve the way. Maybe decrease the traffic, isn't it that? In Dhaka city, if I look at that, that's the most important thing need to change, the traffic. I don't know how it will gonna be, but yeah, still that's the most important, I would say. And I would say girls will also accept with that the security, especially sometimes some ladies, girls, they can't just come out from the office exactly at the 5 p.m. They need to go beyond that, 6, 7 p.m. in some cases. And in Bangladeshi scenario, I don't think it's 100%. I mean, nowhere is 100% safe, but in Bangladesh it's much worse because we can foresee a lot of things are happening on the road, right? Answer that, right? Girls, answer that. Don't you feel like security need to be improved in Bangladesh transport and travel system? Don't you think that? What do you say? True, 100%. So I also think like that's another one, right? Because whenever I go out, I always think like today is the day I'm gonna lose my wallet. So that's also a security issue. So safety, security, and traffic. These are the three. Okay, you have talked about, but this is the day I just try to give you some answers by myself so that you guys know how and what to answer, how you can think. But from the next time, whenever the speaking class, there will be the questions will be asked. So I'm going to ask you the question, you need to answer. And for that, you need to practice. What do you practice? I'm telling you. Camera 7 to 18. Better get some people to help you. If not, do it by yourself. Answer these questions and record that. Right? Answer the question, record that, evaluate that. Only look for the fluency. I usually vehicle having 3 wheels named rickshaw. Okay, yeah, nice one. It's for Mr. Kamal. So where we were, what was I saying? Okay, so answer, record, and then after that evaluate. What are you looking for? Only for fluency. You are not looking for anything else. We're just looking for fluency. The main problem for us is fluency. Whenever we talk, we need to make the sounds in between. We need to stop. We need to start. So that's how it does. I mean, yeah, starting and stopping is still okay, but when you are making those sounds, it's so odd. This is not the sound you make in the speaking. While you're speaking, that's the sound for something else. So you don't make sounds, you don't take a lot of pauses in between. And how can you achieve that? Practice. What do you practice? You practice cameras first. How do you practice? You practice, you record, you evaluate yourself. Then you practice again and track your improvement. That's what you do. Okay. Right. Any questions about the speaking part 1? Any questions about the speaking part 1? Or even any speaking? No questions. Okay then.